Okay, guys, so welcome back to Hannah and Ahizi, part 2. Tonight, Hannah's going to tell you her birth story. You haven't really opened up and told anybody your story of how the day came when he came. And so today's going to be pretty freaking awesome, and we're excited. So, Han, would you like to get us going somehow with this?
Yes. So first of all, obviously you see that we have a special guest here tonight.
There's a hair right there.
Oh yeah, thank you for getting that. So we have a special guest here tonight. He's sleeping. But yeah, we'll go ahead and start on this birth story. But I do want to start off by saying this. How do I say this? Everyone has a different birth story. Like, nobody's birth story is the same. Like, everyone goes through different things. Like, things happen differently for everyone. So I'm not on here to compare to anyone or anything like that. I'm just really here to just let you guys know how my birth went. Because honestly, it was probably the best experience ever, but it was also very traumatizing at the same time. And we'll get to that.
Very traumatizing.
But yeah, I wanted
For
to
me.
just say it was it was awesome, but it was also traumatizing. So I guess we'll just get started.
Okay, so we went in a day early because Hannah's blood pressure was high. So I was at work, and I was hoping, man, I hope she calls me and says she's going in early so that I can leave this place. And I was so stoked, dude, when she said, it's happening. So I said, hey, boss, got to go. Peace. And then I went to the hospital, and then they put us in a room. And they put us in a very, normal hospital room. It wasn't bad. It wasn't awesome, but it wasn't bad. And so the game began. Yeah.
Yes, so I did get induced. If you don't know what that means, that pretty much, I guess, helps your baby come. I don't really
I'm
know.
going to come. Have you seen that, Donald Trump? She says, do not come. And Donald Trump says, I'm going to come. It's the funniest thing ever.
I've never seen that.
I actually laughed till I had a headache today about that video on TikTok. I'm such a child, and I was crying. I don't know what they were talking about, but Donald Trump's face. All right, keep going.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. I don't really know all the terms with, like, in the hospital giving birth, so I'm not going to really say any names of the medications or anything because I don't want to get it all wrong because I really don't know. All I know is we got into the room probably around, I think, 2:30ish, close to 3, and they started me on something to help me dilate. And that had to stay in for 12 hours. I'm sure most of you guys know what that is. I don't really know what it's called. But anyways, that would help me dilate. So, sorry, I'm just going to be real and raw with y'all. Like, he's trying to get the pacifier and he's kind of fighting it right now. Anyways. So that had to stay in for 12 hours. So it got taken out around, I think, 3:45 in the morning. And so then they checked me, a cervical check, and I was only like 1 centimeter dilated, and they said that was good though, because they thought that they would have to try something else to help me dilate more, but since that worked, we were just gonna keep going. So then they started me on, I'm pretty sure it's called Pitocin.
You are correct. It was
Yes,
Pitocin.
it was Pitocin. And so we got started on that, and we kind of were just chilling. And then the next day around 8:30ish.
So I just got to say for you guys, I know it's hard. I know it's hard going into that hospital room and having to sleep on that little chair bed. It was rough on the guys. It's rough on the dads. I hate that chair, dude.
I'm just gonna.
Come on, man.
I'm just gonna let that one slide.
They need to do better.
Okay, how about you just push out a whole entire baby, and then let me know how that bed is.
I'm just saying, I can't be there to hold your hand properly if my back's in shambles.
So I was obviously having contractions at this time. So the next morning around 8:30ish, they were like, just let us know when you want the epidural. And I was like, I want it now. Like, there's no reason why I should be in pain whenever I could be painless. So, and honestly, the contractions weren't bad at this time. They were doable.
And the contractions are fun to watch, guys. For you guys
They
out
were.
there, you're sitting there. Most of us guys, sorry for you older generation, most guys are gamers these days, and you get to sit there and watch the screen, and you get to see the little. Oh, she's having a contraction. It's like watching a video game. You know what I'm saying? So you get kind of excited, and you watch the numbers, and there's really nothing else to watch.
The little squiggly lines.
Yeah,
I really like those.
Yeah, me too, dude.
And sometimes the computer would shut off, and we would literally ask the nurse, like, "Can you turn this back on?" Like,
yeah, we're like,
we
I don't
wanna
think she's
watch."
pregnant anymore because it went off.
Yeah. So, okay. Anyways.
Yeah.
So the contractions were, coming or whatever, but they weren't really that bad. But I didn't want to wait to get the epidural and them not be able to do it, and then me be in like terrible pain. So I was like, let's just go ahead and do it. So I got the epidural around probably 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. And let me tell you, the epidural, best thing ever. I mean,
Excuse me?
praise Jesus for the epidural, because my legs were completely numb. Anytime I wanted to move in the bed, him and my mom would legit have to move me because my legs were so freaking numb.
But the epidural did not go as smooth as you would like for it to.
Yeah, so do you want to explain that?
Yeah, so the night before, when they had me in that stupid bed, okay, so we had this nurse that was awesome. She was really cool. I forgot her name. She was an angel, so we'll just call her the angel.
She was amazing.
So the angel nurse, she was like, hey guys, what can we do for you? Oh my gosh, Hannah, I'm so excited. You're so beautiful. This baby's going to probably, he's just going to be amazing. We love you. And then anyway, so she didn't have the baby that night, so they had a shift change. So we went from an angel to a demon. So this demon comes in there, this lady, and she's not as cool, right? She's not as good. She's not as good as a nurse. Anyways, but Hannah continued her progression, stayed slow and steady until the shift changed again. But while the good angel nurse was away, the other nurse and her team did the epidural in Hannah's back, right? And so things were going fine for a little while, but then Hannah started feeling a little pain. And we're like, dude, by now, that's GERD. I just burped. Anyways, so she's like, she's feeling a little pain, right? So we're
Real
like,
and
dude,
raw.
real and raw. So the epidural is not working. Something's not right, And so it's almost game time. Like, we're about to kick off here in like an hour. And so Hannah's like, and I'm watching her do that, and that's worrying me. And I'm like, dude, somebody better get in here and fix my wife before I flip the tables in this mug. But anyways, so the angel nurse shift change happened like an hour before she started pushing the child. And anyway, so when the angel nurse came in, she looked at everything and like checked out all of the machinery, and then she said, "Oh my goodness!"
Wait, pause. Can I say something?
Of course.
Okay, so we had them come in, the team come in, and I told them, like, I'm in so much pain.
Yeah, I forgot that.
And they came in and gave me more of the epidural. Like, they gave me something else. They're like, okay, let's try this. And so they were like, let's wait a little while and see if this helps. And I mean, I was still in severe pain, like really, really just so much pain. But it was weird because it wasn't in my whole stomach. It was just down at the bottom. It was just like a cramp, but it was so painful. So they came in, gave me more, and was like, let's just wait. So we waited, and I was like, I'm still in so much pain. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I was getting scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel this baby coming out.
Yeah, she was like, this is going to be like the 1800s.
Yeah. So then they come back in and they look at my epidural and they're like thinking, okay, we need to take this one out and give her another one. And we were like, oh my gosh. Well, then
there was a kink in the hose. So the angel nurse found the kink in the hose right before. So then when she relieved the kink in the hose, she started getting that
I started
dosage
getting
in
all that medicine. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, she was drooling, dude.
yeah, it was amazing. I mean,
She
obviously,
wasn't really drooling. It was
no,
awesome.
I wasn't. But I mean, obviously, the pain that I was in for probably, I think it was like 2 hours. You said an hour, but it was 2 hours before. But yeah, there was a kink in the hose, so she fixed it, and then I started getting all that medicine that they had given me. So then,
it was an adventure for sure.
yeah.
So then, like, guys, you know how you think, like, Oh man, when it gets time for her to start pushing that thing out, like they're gonna make me go get in a uniform, and they're gonna put us in a helicopter and fly us across the hospital to another room where it's like, oh, this is the incubator of the baby moment. And no, dude, it wasn't like that at all. The doctor comes in and says, "It appears that you're ready to push." And the next thing we know, he just moonwalks in there, just real smooth, and all right, Han, start pushing. And we were like, what? This happened right there, dude. It was amazing. We didn't have to leave the room. I didn't have to put on nothing.
I didn't have to get out of the bed. Like, they just, like, did something to the bed. And
Tell them about how we tried to hide your dad.
Oh, yeah. So my
That was
mom was
hilarious,
obviously going to be in the room. You could have two people in the room. So it was my mom and Les, obviously. And my dad was also there. And they were trying so hard to get him to, like, be hidden in the room. Like, they were trying to cover him with blankets.
Yeah, so we needed her dad in the background, like being a motivational speaker, like, come on, Han! You know, so what we did was we had a bunch of stuff from the night before, were like blankets and, you know, Gatorade bottles and everything, clothes. That GERD is rough tonight, dude. Every time I sit up, I burp. It's terrible. So like everything in the room, dude. We like tell her dad. I tell her dad, like, hey, dude, shh, shh, and I start piling all the clothes on
They
top of
turned the
him.
light off in the corner of the room.
Started putting blankets on top of her dad, and he's sitting there like this, dude. He's like not moving because he's gonna. And the nurse, I think either he said something or the nurse saw his foot.
I think the nurse saw
Oh, dude, it was hilarious. I was trying so hard not to laugh. Well, they didn't kick him out, but he ended up leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know where we were at.
So we were about to push.
Oh, yeah. So he walks in, the nurse and the doctor come in. They didn't make us leave, change, nothing. They were like, all right, guys, it's
time.
It's time. And then what'd you turn on?
Turned on Christian music. That was like my one thing that I wanted to do was play music during, and I was going to bring a speaker, but I forgot one because like how it all happened. Like we didn't even have no bags. Like he had to come to the house. I had to tell him what to get because we were not prepared at all. Like no hospital bags packed, which it was a good thing because I did already have his diaper bag packed, but that was the only thing that we had packed. But yeah, so he comes in there and it was literally just the doctor and the nurse with us. And I was like a little bit confused because I thought there were supposed to be other people. But at first he gets you like ready before he calls in everybody else to come in.
Yeah.
So
he got you to push until like you could like the crown.
Yeah.
You could see the
yeah.
crown of our little prince kind of thing.
Yeah. So then I start pushing, and I don't really know what time I started pushing. I just know that he came out at 9:29.
Yeah, Hannah's tough, y'all, because I don't know. I've never had a child. It's never going to happen. And I don't know the statistical, the stats on how many times a woman pushes every time. So it's like if you've ever surfed, then you know, like you wait on the wave and then you surf the wave, but you can't surf until a wave comes. It's kind of the same thing with the contraction. She can't start pushing until the contractions come. So we're watching the screen to show when
I'm watching it. I'm like,
yeah, dude, we're waiting on a wave to get on and surf that baby out of here. So like we're watching the contraction screen, and then, dude, as soon as a wave of a contraction came, Hannah just, boy, she gritted.
I wanted that baby out of me. I was ready to meet my baby. It's not because I was in any pain, because I was not. Like, I was literally pain-free, like, completely. Like, did not feel nothing. And I was ready to meet my boy.
She was pushing 4 times every contraction, and I'm talking about you'd see the baby move an
4
inch.
times for 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was intense, dude. I'm talking about she tough. It was awesome. And then we had a moment. We had a moment where the waves didn't come. They did not come. The waves did not come, and so we were like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And then
You tell him.
so Hannah's like, what did you say?
I was like, come on, John, or something like that, because contractions weren't coming. So I was like, come on, John. And my doctor had said, it's not John, it's your uterus.
So Hannah's like, you know what I'm saying? She's in there like that. And as soon as he said it's your uterus, she like looks over her belly and says, come on, uterus. It was so funny, dude.
Him and my mom thought that was the funniest thing
dying, man. It was the funniest thing ever. And then it came.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the head's coming out, and they actually put a mirror up. They were like, "Do you want to put a mirror and see it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." Then they put a mirror, and then I'm like, "Okay, take the mirror away," because whenever I'm pushing, I had my eyes closed. Like I was just like had my eyes closed, so I didn't even really see it.
It was amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly was really nervous because if my college roommates are watching this, then they'll tell you I've always had a weak stomach, and to be honest, I didn't know if I could be in there. And I took a chance. I mean, my roommates would literally do stuff like prank me and do gross things to make me sick and watch me get sick. Like I've all, and it, yeah. So, anyways, it was the most beautiful, amazing experience of my life, dude. I mean, it was incredible to see. I mean, what a miracle to see that.
So do you want to tell them your funny part of it, where you thought that?
Oh yeah, so like, yo, this you cannot make this stuff up. So I didn't.
Can't.
Obviously, I didn't YouTube baby entering the world. Like I didn't watch videos. I didn't know what everything looked like. I'm talking about. I went in blindfolded, y'all. So the head's starting to come out, and then, I mean, can I be honest?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be honest. So like the thing's coming out, and I don't know how to describe it. Have you ever seen a Brazil nut? I know you've seen a Brazil nut.
Yeah, like a cone head. I say cone head.
Or like the green, the dude from Spider-Man, the Green Goblin, with that long dude. So no joke, when his head so what starts coming out, it comes out. It's like that, like it looked like a big old Brazil nut, and I was like, ooh, oh my gosh, dude, like is that my son? Because I thought that was the whole baby.
He legit thought that his head was the whole baby.
I did, dude. That sucker was stretched out like that. One of them Brazil nuts. It blew my mind. And then, so I'm like already in shock. Like next thing I know, a big wave of hot water came out, and then all his arms and legs fell out, and it was like, there's no way that just happened. It was insane, y'all. Like unbelievable. But then. Then tell him what happened.
So then he came out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I've just been waiting and waiting, like, for him to come out and them to just lay him on my chest.
To hear him, like, cry
and,
and
like,
get
I'm
that
just,
moment.
like, waiting for him to hear, like, I'm waiting to hear that cry. And he came out and did not cry. He was completely silent, and we were in freak out mode. I was like, what's going on? He started freaking out, like...
Yeah, because like after the Brazil nut came out and then the body flopped out, like he didn't move, y'all. I'm talking like no movement, no crying, no color. It was the most horrifying like minute of my life. Yeah. And I had to go sit down. Like I almost passed out legit.
I had to
go
down.
I went and sat down and just put my head down. And she was asking me like, is he okay? And I like lied a few times. Yeah, he's fine. And by the third time I just went and sat down and I didn't know if he was alive, to be honest, and they like hooked him up to oxygen.
Yeah, so they kept him over there, like, working on him for probably, I think it was like 12 to 15 minutes maybe. But they had to put me on magnesium I think it was for my blood pressure, right?
Yeah.
But I was on that medication, and that medicine, like, makes you really groggy. It makes you really out of it. Like, I was just out of it, honestly. And then they had said that it gets into his system. It doesn't do anything to him. Like, it doesn't harm him. It just gets into his system. And that's why he came out not breathing. So for, like, the first day, he was super groggy because he still had it in his system. But they were like, he's fine. He's healthy. But he's just going to be a little out of it. But yeah, so that part was the traumatizing part of my birth story, because I had waited for almost 10 months for that moment, to him to just lay on my chest and just cry and just, get him close to me. And then he came out not breathing, and they had to take him over there. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I was just... traumatized,
it was
honestly.
It was really scary.
And then, like shortly after they worked on him and got him breathing and stuff, they came and laid him on me, which was literally the best feeling, like best thing in the world. Like, I know that some of you probably have seen that video because I did post it on Facebook. But it was awesome. I was crying. Like, it was just amazing. And then after that, like, our families could come in. Like, his parents were there and his sister and brother-in-law, and then my brothers were there, and then my dad. So they got to come in the room. They had to come, I think they said like 4 people in the room.
Yeah.
So they got to come in, and then so I had him at 9:29, and I think around 11 or 11:30 we got into a different room, because the room that we were in was labor and delivery, and then they took us to, I don't know, recovery or...
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember
But it had, like,
what their rooms
it was
are
bigger
called.
and more spacious.
But yeah,
and,
so we
like,
go
yeah.
upstairs, and we got a different room, and that was where we stayed for 2 nights, I think.
2 or 3.
2 or 3 nights.
I'm
I
not
had him
sure.
on a Thursday, and we went home on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday or Saturday. I can't remember. I'm terrible.
It's kind of pregnancy brain. Like,
Yeah, pregnancy brain and also mom brain now. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I got mom brain.
It's real, dude.
Yeah.
I've had dad brain for 28 years. It's crazy, dude. I've been preparing.
But yeah, so that's my birth story. I feel like we're not really leaving anything out. I will say this. So I had a doctor's appointment on that Wednesday, and that's when they kept me. My doctor's appointment was at somewhere between 8:30, and I had ate cereal that morning at 7 o'clock before I went. I didn't eat a lot because I knew that me and my mom were going to go get some food after. I was going to get some good breakfast. Well, then they ended up keeping me and then told me I could not eat nothing. So I went 2 days without eating nothing, and that was also a part that I hated about the whole birth thing, because I could not eat for 2 days. And then once we got into the room upstairs at around 11:30 that night, I got to eat, and like the whole 10 months, I'm like, what's going to be my first meal after giving birth and all this? I'm like, I really want something good. I want a Pepsi, something so good. And then it was like 11:30 that night. My parents had to leave. Nobody else could stay. And so we were like, let's DoorDash. And the nurse was like, yeah, you can DoorDash. Like, we can go meet them down there, or you can. And then we got on DoorDash, and then we ended up not doing that because either they didn't deliver.
They wouldn't. Yeah.
I think I wanted Taco Bell, and they wouldn't
Yeah.
deliver there. So then we were like, I was just like, I don't even feel like figuring anything out. Like, I'm starving. So he went down. Did you get that sandwich out of the vending machine? Okay, so pretty much my first meal after the birth, I ate a sandwich out of a vending machine.
We've been eating those sandwiches ever since.
with a Pepsi and chips. I ate 2 of them, I think. And yeah, and then the next day, I think I ate hospital food.
Yeah.
And then finally, I had Firehouse.
And it was fire.
It was fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
it was awesome, y'all. Like,
it was a great experience. And it's so funny because I told everyone, like, right after I gave birth, I kid you not, I told everyone, I said I would do this again tomorrow. Like,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, fellas.
But
it was awesome.
Like I said in the beginning, like, everyone's is different. It's never the same. So I told myself, I'm like, next time it's not gonna be that easy. Like, I don't know, but yeah, like I said, I would do it again tomorrow. So,
well, we hope y'all enjoyed our story. That's our birth story, and
now we got this little sweet angel that is literally perfect. He's 12 pounds, 2 ounces, and he's 24 inches long. He's gonna be tall.
he's in the 86th. I don't want to lie. 86th percentile for height. That means he's tall, y'all.
Tall, y'all.
I'm proud of that. Oh, and today I didn't tell you this. So today I'm like, this is how you know you're full blown dad. I'm at work in front of the homies, and I'm going, Miska, Muska, Mickey Mouse. And then one of them, and then another one said, "Oh, Toodles!"
No
Yeah, I swear,
way.
dude. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was
That
awesome,
is amazing.
man. And we just like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, so
it
if
was-
you ever
yeah.
want to come to our house and meet John, just know there will be something on the TV, whether it's Mickey Mouse, Sing, Boss Baby. We're really into Boss Baby right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all we watch now. Kid movies, kid shows, but I'm completely okay with it because honestly, I've been watching it too. Do you want to tell them what we did this week?
What?
We watched Sing 4 times.
Sing's the truth, man. Sing's it's the best movie ever.
Best movie ever. I mean, we get chill bumps. We get up and dance and sing.
I think my Subway's here.
I think it is too. So we need to go.
All right, love
You
y'all.
know
Bye.
what? That's just gonna give you more GERD.
I don't want to stand up. I don't know if I have shorts on.
All right, peace out to your granny.